Alright, hey everybody guys, it's me, Nathan Tran. I welcome you into my car. I feel comfortable talking with you guys here, and don't worry, I'm driving, I'm looking up at the road, but every now and then I can glance at the camera here. Now, so I want to keep it light, because you might think this is really unpredictable, but let me tell you where I'm coming from, because here I am going to work, and just 2 months ago, this same job was the job I hated the most, okay? This is the job that, doesn't make any sense, didn't make any sense to me, because here I was making $8 an hour, hating my bosses, quitting, then getting another job where I liked the boss, and he was actually willing to offer me salary, but what happened was he decides to go on vacation for 2 weeks, and during that time where I was home alone and worried about my finances, I started to resent my boss as well. And then it started making me look for work, because I just wanted to make money fast, and maybe if he came back, I would go back, but whatever. What happened was, after 1 week of just stressing out at home, because I was just sitting there doing nothing, I didn't have any friends to go out with, I didn't have anything to do, I was just playing video games or watching YouTube, and it was still stressing me out, still bothering me. What I decided to do was, look for work. Or what happened was I got an email from this job I applied to a while back. And so I followed up and I asked, hey, can I work? And in a way I sort of lied to them and said, I'd like to work, with you guys for a while, but really I was only working there for a week, right? But they said, okay, give it a shot, right? So I decided to work. And then what do I realize? I realized that the job that they gave me was actually, they worked for Cineplex, which was great. Here it is, an office close to my home, and they actually work for Cineplex, and I thought that was amazing. The guys I spoke to, these other technicians, right? They were pretty friendly to me, and I thought that was great. And then what happens is, I get offered to go to Ottawa, and I'm thinking, amazing. I get to stay at hotels, I get to get free food, and I was like, sign me up. And of course, that's my reason to leave my last boss, because it just sounds so fun, right? Everyone's drawn to doing the fun thing. Now, what happened in Ottawa was I was 3 weeks in, and it just was completely overwhelming. What do you mean by overwhelming? I mean the work itself. Here I am on this new build, and not only do I have to worry about my own efforts, my own work, but when the electricians ruin the plans, when the architects ruin the plans, when the bosses change the plans, you almost start to feel overwhelmed by the fact that you have no control over any of that. And it started to really stress me out, and my coworker was really stressing out too, and I was sort of absorbing all that energy. And what do you know, I'm just depressed or sad every day. And then what I decide to do is, I text my boss. I'm like, I can't handle this job. I mean, it's like, what? And then in our heads, think about it like this. It's so logical to think, a job that it's paying me $15 an hour, right? And it's making me work twice as hard, giving me headaches. You run away from that job as soon as possible. But what happened was, I text my boss, and I do what you guys do. I text my boss, I gotta quit. I gotta quit, it's not working out, I'm sorry. And then first, what surprised me was they were polite about it. They asked me, hey, do you mind if you just work another week? And I was like, sure, I can work another week. I mean, I respect you guys to do that. I mean, I am kind of leaving on short notice, but I'll work another week for you guys. And so I worked that week, right? And what happens is, I'm working throughout the week, but it's always on my mind. I got this anxiety, oh, here comes Friday, it's gonna be the end of the world for me, whatever. I don't care about the money, I just want to be happy, right? And if anything, I can look for work, and maybe the cycle will continue. The cycle of looking for that job, being unhappy, quitting, and trying again and again and again, right? So what happens is, here comes Friday, and where I'm expecting my bosses to be like, what, sorry, it didn't work out, bye-bye. And here I am feeling bad that I couldn't be a good person to them, I couldn't keep my cool when things went down, when things were stressful, when things were unstructured, right? Because that's university life for you. It teaches you how to be structured. And I'm a 2-year alumni, by the way. U of T alumni downtown. Now, what amazed me, what surprised me was when I sat in that office prepared to take the worst, prepared to take it all personally and feel bad about myself. What surprised me was when they started asking me, what's wrong? And you know, you could always call us. You could have called us and told us what was wrong. We would have helped you. We would have done something. We would have taken care of you in a way. That blew me away. That was a shock to my psyche, right? Because here I am being anxious, worrying about the worst thing that could happen, feeling like no one's out there for me, when really my bosses, the ones that typically aren't the ones out there for you, you know, they're just the ones who are willing to pay you, they showed me compassion. And that just blew me away. And so 2 months now, here I am driving into work, and the same job, and I haven't even gotten a raise yet. I'm going to ask for that this week. But the same job that I have, where I'm working twice as hard, I'm happy, my attitude's different, and I'm working at 100%, that I'm no longer a technician. I'm actually an office consultant now. I help the technicians. I set jobs up for the technicians. I pick orders in the back, so I prepare all the material. I'm in the office helping my manager with data entry, doing work orders, preparing spreadsheets and things like that. I'm helping my boss do diagrams, and I'm pretty much learning everything. And what I studied in school was just psychology and communications. But here I am, so open-minded that I could learn anything I want. That whenever they gave me a task, I was just like, sure. Because you know how I approach life is now, is that I realize that I have no control over what happens outside my life. But what I do have control over is my own efforts, right? And it just kind of simplifies things, you know, because really, who are you? You are just yourself. You can't change how your boss treats you. You can't change what people say about you. But what you can change is your own attitude towards what you do, right? So stay in school, you know, stay at your job, but just realize that you don't have control over these things, and I just want you to work harder. Just realize that the effort that you do is, am I putting 100% into this work? It's a simple idea. I just wanted to throw that out there. I didn't know why I made this video, but, oh, actually I do know why. But stay in touch, because if anything, I'm trying to establish that, of course you're not going to listen to someone you don't trust. But I'm trying to, or if anything, I'm opening up my life to you. I'm sharing my car, my experiences, so that you can relate to me, you can empathize. Because once you start empathizing, you start trusting, and once you start trusting, you can start taking the advice of someone who's looking out for you. And really, like, I'm not asking for anything. I'm just putting myself out there, and if you benefit from it, you know, that would make me very happy. So guys, I gotta go. But I'll be seeing you next time. See you.